this ball, guiding it down, maybe even get one for the road.
Our own standards here in this overtime period, because if we concede a goal, it's over for them.
He's doing a lot of damage, but he's got to TP over. He avoids the ego.
Bob Waena, no flash, no problem. St. Clair.
Horse back already so low. Redx taking down two, taking down one.
Immediately, this should be all she wrote. Soaks with one on the icy.
Stand until the whole squad.
Well, welcome back, Saints Nation. I am Patrick Smoke Chambers, joined by Hayden Phaser King on the desk, and we have a doozy of a matchup for you tonight. It's going to be NACE Super Conference Rocket League, St. Clair versus West Virginia, and we have got it going on tonight. Round number 8. St. Clair coming in at 6-1, technically 7-1 by the end of round 9 because of the Maryville round that's going to be given. And West Virginia with a double header themselves tonight, coming in 5-1. They got St. Clair green right now, and right after they got Winthrop. Hayden, what are your initial thoughts on this?
Patrick, we were talking about it right before the stream started.
Yeah.
Both of these teams, they've already gone at it once this semester. As we head into our lineups, we've got the usual suspects, Arju,
Yes,
Sai, and Jazzy, but as we were saying, they've already gone at it once this semester. Not in NACE, but in CRL. West Virginia took that one, so this is a bit of a grudge match for the boys here at St. Clair, looking to, at least find a win here in NACE. I'm sure they'll be happy to walk away with this one with their 8th win, but it's going to be a tough one. I mean, West Virginia, they're no slouches.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, they aren't. I mean, West Virginia and CRL are 3-1, and that one loss coincidentally actually came from Winthrop, who 3-1 them. So a lot of 3-1s going around, but they have to play Winthrop after, as that's Percy, T. Carell, and Garrett G. For West Virginia's lineup that we see, we're going to have Gyro, Matt, and Tool. We did see them square off against St. Clair in Week 2, Round 1 of CRL, where they got the W over St. Clair in 3-1 fashion in that best of 5. And, we took a couple of notes throughout that matchup, but overall, what do you think the biggest issue, because we saw St. Clair in that matchup, they really did struggle.
Yeah.
What were some of your biggest takeaways after that one?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing was they were getting outshot, and also their
Yes.
coordination on defense was not there. Frankly, it was just not there at all. West Virginia really had full control in a lot of those games, and it just felt like they were missing some kind of communication somewhere on the pitch that kind of went awry in that CRL match.
Yeah, I mean, it is really tough to see as, again, they gave up, I believe, 11 shots in both games 1 and 2 immediately of that series, right? So 22 shots through 10 minutes of gameplay, not the best. And I think, again, this is just something to deal with the fact that these guys, they've had a little bit of a slow start to the season, and, there just seems to be a little bit of a lack in chemistry. Again, it was noted in that CRL cast, right? They're giving up too many touches to the midfield while in defense, and the problem is that then leads to opposing shots, and it was very clear and obvious that is what was going on. I've looked at a lot of their games, obviously, that I've casted throughout the year, not only just in CRL and in NACE, and something they're getting really bad at, St. Clair, is they're double committing a lot on defense, and it could be just from a lack of trust. There could be something else going on, but regardless, I do think that this is a huge part of their game that they need to fix up. This wasn't happening last year as often, and it's very easy to see and clear to see, because if this was an issue that was going on, we wouldn't have had a CRL title in our hands.
No, for sure. I mean, we could clearly see something is a little bit off. I mean, the record doesn't really show that, but when you and I, we take a peek at the boys, they clearly are missing a little bit of that fire that kind of brought them towards that CRL title last semester.
And they've shown glimpses of that.
Yeah,
right?
they have.
Like, they definitely have. I think that sometimes when they open up a series, they kind of play down to their opponents sometimes, and they have a bad habit of doing that, letting some series get away, kind of slip away, and not necessarily in terms of the overall result, but even just in games, right? Teams that they should be sweeping, you give up a 3-1 or even a 3-2 sometimes, and you're kind of just scratching your head like, okay, why is this getting done in 5, right? Teams that you should be beating, teams that you have beat consistently for the past 1-2 years, you're now having them get over top of you, right? So again, it just seems like St. Clair, they're starting off a little bit slow in every series that they play, and they take a little while to heat up, and it costs them in the long run against teams like West Virginia, who definitely do not have any time to wait or allocate for St. Clair to catch up. They're not going to wait around for you.
No.
They're just going to go 100% no matter what, and they're just going to take a series from you if you're going to be willing to play slow.
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to before the show. We know it's a weekend, so I was inquiring to Thermal, one of our coaches here.
Yes.
About West Virginia. What can you tell me? What can you give me? And he was saying, West Virginia, they've kind of powered up now that they have this. They've had this roster now. This is their first full semester with these 3 guys, so they're probably firing on all cylinders. They feel ready. They feel primed. They know that there is an opportunity here with the Saints to take a win, take a statement win here in NACE, and show that no matter the competition, no matter where we're playing, no matter what our lineup is, we are going to take that win. We are, and we feel confident here against the upper echelon in Rockily.
Yeah, again, you know what? Like we said before, West Virginia, they definitely seem to have a lot more chemistry, and good for them, because right now, they're definitely doing things in this semester that I did not necessarily see. Like, again, their 5-1 record in NACE is pretty good. Yeah. They've done it against some teams that I didn't expect them to have over, right? Same thing in CRL. They're definitely showing that they are one of the top dogs all of a sudden. And it's surprising to me because that's just not where we were at last time, but it makes sense, right? You just said they've spent a whole semester together. They had the summer to really gel. So this can show you that, yeah, given time, this roster lights up. And we saw that with St. Clair as well, right? They took time throughout the spring to get going, and then when it really mattered most, down in those matches in April, March, May, that's when we really saw them kind of come together and become that top dog. Again, we have seen glimpses of this in the past. I mentioned CRL Falls Split 1, where they won against George Mason to get into CRL, but this is NACE Round 8, and we have a score to settle. St. Clair, will they get their get back, or will West Virginia prove that they are simply the better team?
One best of 5 to decide that here in week number 8. Arju trying to find a touch near the midfield, something we've seen and we've talked about is their midfield presence has not really been there. Tool setting one up for Gyro. Okay, Toy almost got that in. I was gonna say tries to tap that one in, but he just can't find it. One of those easy shots that they just cannot capitalize on. West Virginia though, they're keeping this pace, they're keeping the aggression here. Gyro trying to find some space. Sai on the wall, needs to play some good defense. Jazzy's gonna come in, knock that one down. But Saints really been pushed into their own zone, haven't been able to get out so far early on.
Yeah, and again, right, this is early doors still, so nothing too concerning just yet, but at the same time, right, you need to realize that if this is going to be how the whole series goes, West Virginia are going to take this no problem. Speaking of that, getting into predictions, you said you got St. Clair in 5. I said I got West Virginia in 5, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that, again, I am playing villain on the desk tonight, but hopefully, right, I am just in a cast or curse position, and maybe I can give St. Clair a little bit of luck. That being said, West Virginia back on the offense. Gyro reeling. Has to try to take a 50, but he's going to find a demo from Arju instead. Pass downfield. Has to be a shot from Jazzy, but West Virginia quick up for the defense.
Good work from the Saints there to put some pressure on to West Virginia. You have to be able to follow it
a
up,
really good
though.
shot.
Jazzy's just not ready for that shot from West Virginia. Just like that, just as we were saying that we kind of thought their coordination on defense was not as smooth as it has been. Jazzy just mistimes that jump, not able to save it, and West Virginia's up early here in game number 1.
And yes, while Jazzy is kind of on the worst end of a 2v1 there,
Yeah.
the shot is early, and it's just a better place shot in my opinion. I mean, again, Jazzy's doing all he can to get to that ball, but sometimes the shot just beats out the keeper. That's just how it is sometimes, right, at this level. These shooters can just be so prolific, and hopefully we get a chance to see one right there as Jazzy had a look. Zai with a follow-up opportunity actually whiffs this one out, and now because of that tool, downfield is going to get shelled out by Arju. Decent 50 on the back as well. Now Gyro, someone who on the ball in the CRL matchup kind of showed that St. Clair, they're a little bit hesitant to challenge sometime. Not there though, as this one goes off the crossbar. But that being said, West Virginia seems like they got a 4th man in defense in that post.
Wow, nice little crossbar save right there for West Virginia to keep this 1-1-0. The Saints pressing the attack into West Virginia's zone. Pardon me, Jazzy gets the demo. Side with the save. Saints have a chance here to push the ball downfield, find another opportunity. Matt's gonna bang that one out into the corner. Sai on the wall, off the ceiling, tries to reset. He does get the double, but he cannot finish it off right in front of the net. Again, the Saints, that's about the 2nd or 3rd time this game that they just have not been able to finish in front of the net.
Yeah, again, it's unfortunate, but there really needs to be a shooter down there. And I get it. Sometimes you have people on, that are sort of on the middle of the pack and boost, and you're kind of wondering, do I want to double, triple commit to this just in case if the long clear comes in? But you can't hesitate when a player on your side creates an opportunity like that. And St. Clair, we'll see if that costs them. 1-0 still as we reach a minute 45. And this one's going to be Matt downfield air dribble, but it's going to be saved out easily by Arju. Clear out from Zai. He's trying to force a reset. Uses it for the wave dash to get a beat over the next one as the demo comes through for Matt. But it will not matter. The pass from Zai, too good from that wave dash. And Jazzy going to be able to finish.
Got a nice bounce. Nice lob into Jazzy right in front of the net right there. That's going to tie it up 1-1. The Saints, they've looked pretty good on offense here. They've had some unfortunate situations, but with a couple of balls left in front of the net. But overall, I kind of like the way that they're approaching this one. The defense has looked not as clean as we talked about pregame. The coordination still seems to be a little bit off, in my opinion. Sai in front of the net tries to sneak one past some defenders, is not able to. Arju is going to tap once, going to tap twice, has a lob for Jazzy with the shot, unable to find it. Gyro with the save. Nice teed up shot for Jazzy right there, but the Saints cannot capitalize.
Yeah, and again, I know we've really been harping on the defensive woes, but honestly, in comparison to how the CRL series was going, this game already, I will say, I think St. Clair's defense has been a little bit better. We're going to have to see if it can stand up to this tried and true attack from West Virginia this time, as that is not going to happen. Tool, a really good job of cutting through the rotation. Had Arju on a little bit of a string there as well. Nice setup play from Matt. But again, West Virginia, they find their time to strike. And I get it, St. Clair, you know, they're down 2-1, but still, I am going to land on that point. I think St. Clair defensively, like, yes, they have shown that they're a little bit awkward, but honestly, the last time they played West Virginia, it was a lot worse in my opinion. So they've definitely made improvements, and at least offensively, there's still always been that powerhouse that we know we love to talk about. Passing plays, demos, it all happens for St. Clair as they equalize with 40 left on the board.
Really good teamwork. Everyone's just flying through the air right there. Arju slots that one in bottom right to tie this one up. 6 seconds between those goals.
Yes.
It's going to show some fight here for St. Clair in game number 1. Something we also talked about pre-game, Patrick, those kickoff goals.
Yes.
Right? They have to be wary. St. Clair hasn't been the brightest on the kickoff goals, but 30 seconds remaining now. This game number 1. Tightly contested between both sides. Jazzy's going to get up in the air, try and find this tap. He's not going to get there for the second, runs out of boost. Sai gets contested by Matt. Now it's into the St. Clair zone, just barely off target. That would have been an absolute brutal shot to go down on. 5 seconds left. Patrick, looks like we might be heading to overtime unless the Saints can pull one out of their hat here. All it needs is to hit the floor, and it will. Overtime in game number 1 of this best of 5.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? It's already looking good because we're not getting trounced on too badly yet in terms of possession numbers as well as St. Clair. They seem to be a little bit back, and let's see if they can keep up this form. Gyro on ball to the sidewall is going to try to have another touch, but it's going to get forced back out by Jazzy. Good play there, but it's going to leave Arju to have to make the play, and as he does, he needs a shooter inbound. Going to create an opportunity himself, just off the crossbar. No one to cut across mid, and it should be West Virginia to clear out.
Just another Saints player out of position right there as the ball kind of lingers over the crossbar. They have another opportunity here. Jazzy's going to bring this one into the orange zone. Matt's going to contest. Ball gets bounced off the sidewall. Sai, can he float one in? He cannot. Just barely off target. Jazzy though, going to keep it inside this zone. Arju with the demo on Matt. He's going to leave them in a man disadvantage. Sai, can he find this one? Oh my goodness, a nice double attempt. Just cannot follow through. 2 attempts from Sai right there to seal the deal here in game number 1. The Saints still on the attack.
That is rough. Again, right, I get it. It's a nice attempt, but with the speed that he's going at and the look that he has, you leave an open backboard at this level of play, it should always be converted on. A ground double from Arju as well, showing that he can definitely be a player that makes offense out of nowhere as West Virginia reeling back now. Arju with a little bit of a Cooks or pinch attempt, but it's going to go a little bit wide. Can have another shooter inbound, or at least pass from Jazzy, but this one just missing its mark as now Arju having to go up for the contest. Believe that was Matt and Tool who were trying to get up there for that one. It's going to leave Gyro back as the third man. Has a pass downfield, and the flick cannot happen. Arju forces the pressure early as now West Virginia seeing what they can do to get this ball out of their half.
Saints trying to keep the aggression alive here in the orange zone. Jazzy trying to contest this one from Matt. He does. Follow up from Sai. One man in net. It's just Tool to beat it, and Sai sneaks it past.
There we
3-2. Everyone gets a piece of the scoring in game number 1. That's 1 for Jazzy, 1 for Arju, 1 for Sai, and the Saints will take 1 here in the best of 5 set.
Beautiful shot as well, just using the arrow right to turn his car directly 90 degrees. Bends forward a little bit to then get that momentum back, where it's almost like an invert on the musty flick, or a half flip in this case. Is now getting the shot off Zai, showing that he has been on some insane form of shooting as of late. But St. Clair, this is the way you had to open this series up, showing West Virginia that you can definitely be there on your day. And they definitely show no signs of starting this series off slow, as St. Clair going to take your first.
I mean, nice to see everyone getting involved.
It's a good sign, man. It's a
nice
good sign.
to see everyone getting involved, everyone getting a piece of the pie. Game number 2 underway here. Felt like Tool was I don't know, maybe a little out of position on that shot. I don't think he thought, I don't think he assumed Sai was going to be able to follow that one through, but have to move on, have to reset the mental here in game number 2. The Saints, early aggression. Arju in the air, gets the tap. Off the ceiling, no boost. Tries to find it, just able to tap that. Makes it go off target there for West Virginia. But the Saints are trying to reel from this potent West Virginia offense.
Right, and I mean, this was what we saw last time in the CRL series. St. Clair were more or less just waiting for West Virginia to make mistakes on offense and then countering through the attack, and that's really how they made their opportunity. I'm seeing a lot more passing plays coming through the infield pressure, though, and that's what we like to see from St. Clair. We love it when they influence more tiki-taka, and it keeps their possession rolling, but now West Virginia back in the attack. It's going to be Arju to cut this one out. And really good from St. Clair. They're usually very good at cutting out those passing attempts early before plays can develop, and you hope that you can see more of that stuff to keep West Virginia reeling back.
Yeah, I mean, West Virginia, they feel like they've been playing a ton of defense here in these first 2 minutes here, but the offense is going to come through, tries to find a shot on net. Arju's going to keep it off target. Sai, the redirection mid-air. Arju's just going to boom this one down. Another drop-down shot. Matt in an awkward position, 25 boosts. He's going to get juked out, and the ball is going to, just barely get saved by Tool. A great opportunity there for the Saints to take a lead with 3:20 left on the clock, but West Virginia, they're not slowing down. They want to find this first goal. They want to be the ones to set the pace. Tool with the demo on Jazzy. Follows it up with another looming shot, a looming free kick into the Saints zone. Matt bounces it off the ceiling, and nobody is there for West Virginia to follow through. Sai, meanwhile, just comes flying in for the Saints.
Almost
And
got
the
a sweet
ball
redirect, too.
Just going to miss. Oh my goodness, both posts on this net. You cannot find one, neither team can. And what? There's just a triple commit from West Virginia, and everyone misses. Some crazy comms going on from West Virginia's side. Clearly a little bit off sync. The Saints are trying to capitalize, but they just cannot find the net.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, right? I mean, the bump comes in off the air dribble, and I think it was honestly Arju who was shooting there. Really needs to hit that, but just can't get the connection that he wants. And now St. Clair trying to see if they can get some cutoffs in the midfield. I was going to say all 3 West Virginia players oddly positioned, as I believe 2 midair committed for that ball. Yeah, I was going to say Tool just cheats up a little too far, and Gyro's got no boost. Send a shot up high, and should be freebies for St. Clair. Is now 1-0 in what was a horrible West Virginia mistake.
I mean, we talked about the coordination on the green side for St. Clair, and it was not there for West Virginia.
Right.
They were not.
There you go,
oh my
counterattack
goodness.
again.
They're just not in position at the right time. Sai is going to punch them again. The last one to score in game number 1, but he finds 2 here in game number 2, and the Saints, with 2:05 left on the clock, feeling pretty good about themselves.
Do I dare say this just looks like the CRL matchup, but just flipped?
Reversed.
Right now, like, yes, we've seen glimpses of St. Clair having tough moments on defense, but offensively, they're shining through, and they're forcing West Virginia into really awkward moments, and sometimes West Virginia, they're just committing their own mistakes. And I mean, St. Clair, they're happy to sit back and exploit, but 2-0 up now. You have a little bit of a safety net. Definitely don't want to be the ones blowing it. And we mentioned before, St. Clair, you can never really count them in or out of any matchup yet. We talked about their kickoff woes, and that's a problem because if West Virginia score right here, you got a reset of the ball, and immediately St. Clair, we know that they've been having problems on kickoff. I really point to the matchups that we've seen with them in LCU, Bruton Parker, and most recently Concord. But if you can score more times than West Virginia can, obviously that's going to seal you the game. And it's a really good job there from Zai to leave it to Jazzy Arju for the cleanup, and you're looking good right now if you're St. Clair, feeling like you have this one under control.
I don't want to harp on a player too much, but I'm not sure what Tool has been doing these last couple minutes. He's missed the Jazzy shot, overextended on the first side goal, and right there just had no boost, was completely drained out of boost, and could not assist on that second goal, or on that first goal from Arju this game. Feels like Tool has just been kind of all over the place, not able to help his team in any meaningful way. Meanwhile, he is going to get the shot on, but not very difficult for Arju to save with less than 1 minute left on the clock.
Yeah, and I mean, St. Clair, you know, I get it, 53 seconds, you're up by 3, but you're lucky that one didn't cost you there. It was a double commit on the near post, and if Arju didn't cut through the back post to try to find that clear, St. Clair could be a 3-1 game right now, as it's going to be West Virginia to try to reset their offense, but St. Clair, they have all the control in the world. Gyro, demoed out by Jazzy, as we've seen. He's been some of the times that aggressive player that can force interference. Sai, no ground double attempt this time, but so long as they can keep this ball high, make West Virginia force boost out and not give them too many opportunities on carries like that, they should be able to time burn enough in these last 20 to get this one done.
Yeah, I mean, 15 seconds left now. West Virginia needs a genuine miracle to come out on top here in game number 2. Not even gonna happen. They needed to score like basically as I was saying. There was no way, no way. And then a kickoff goal, but 3-1 maybe. Oh, I was gonna say a good way to end it for West Virginia, but they're not even gonna get another chance. I think as this ball is just gonna drop down in front of Sai. 3-0 or 3-0. And 2-0 in the series for St. Clair. They got to be feeling good about themselves here, Patrick.
Yeah, you know what? I wonder if just the doom scrolling from Arju has evolved now. I wonder if he's leveled up.
Locked.
We see there's no doom scrolling here, so
Not today. It's
maybe
Saturday.
putting down the phone. I mean, who knew, right? Doom scrolling on the Saturday night. I mean, it just sounds like a typical Hayden Phaser King night. But honestly, I was gonna say, it seems like you've evolved yourself, Hayden, and Arju following in the man that he admires most in his steps is now Arju, you know, and the boys are just laughing this one off. 2-0 right now in this best of 5, and I'm not gonna lie, I just didn't expect it, and there you go, the caster curse hits once again. So as we see, you know, clearly he hasn't been listening to your lessons. Hayden is back on for a little more doom, just a little more doom scrolling before, you know, just get the 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, you got a quick check in, you know. Yeah, we gotta dial in here for game number 3. Arju, I feel like had some pretty good passes, some pretty good saves there.
I was
in
gonna
game
say,
number 2.
honestly,
the defense was really good. I felt.
I think Arju kind of bailed St. Clair out a couple times.
Yeah.
I mean, I especially talk about that near post double commit that we saw earlier, reminiscent of something that West Virginia did earlier in that game as well, right? But the difference being that you had a third back and with open arms now to press that ball is now it's going to be Jazzy with the air dribble, and it's going to be Matt with the pass, but he just can't find anything through the midfield. Demo comes through though, and now West Virginia trying to see if they can force up any defense. Matt going to have the clear as the reset comes through. Looking to get over Arju, and he's done just that, but a save comes through from Jazzy, showing why backboard defense can help you rank up in your games.
Old reliable Jazzy coming in to save the Saints' skin. An early shot attempt from West Virginia. We haven't seen that much here in these first 2 games. Feels like St. Clair has really been the aggressor early on. West Virginia having to play from behind. Matt's going to bump this one into the corner once more. Sai tries to get that out. Gyro into the mid. Sai with half boost. Going to bring this into the West Virginia zone. Tool, again, out of boost. Can't really help his team too much. He's just going to get stuck there on the ground. Matt, meanwhile, bounces this one off the top of the net. And it's just going to bounce back and forth. It really just feels like a game of pinball here for West Virginia on their offensive side.
As now Jazzy trying to force some offense. It's actually going to bait Gyro up, and I was going to say midfield, barring a 50, can be taken advantage of is now Zai. Soft touch. Good job using the underbelly of his car, but he can't get back to the ball there because Gyro read the play out and just simply blocked him. Beautiful job there playing a little bit of bumper cars as this one now going to stay at 0-0 for the time being. Matt, quick clear out and downfield St. Clair, they read it out.
Yeah, I mean, hey, sometimes the best thing to do is just get in front of your opponent's car. In my case, I do it to my teammates when I play Rocket League, but that's okay. Matt finds the demo onto Zai, and a free shot for West Virginia is going to make this 1-0.
Double commit.
Double commit.
It's horrible.
And
oh, man.
Jazzy just gets demoed, and Arju and Sai are just nowhere to be seen as they just have to watch the ball get knocked in. 3 minutes left on the clock now. There's that kickoff goal that we
Yep.
talked about.
We did.
A weakness
We
from
did.
St. Clair. West Virginia exploits it and finds their second instantly here in game number 3.
Yeah, and you know, it's just tough, but yeah, this has been a area of the game that these guys have struggled in for the last little while here in terms of recency. Is now this kickoff not too bad comparatively than the last, as now you get a little bit of offensive opportunity from it. Gyro does a really good job to stall out there and is able to break that pass up. This one going to be knocked out by Tool, and a good defensive heads-up play from the man who's had a quiet series.
Now the Saints need to find some form of offense here. 2:30 left. Gyro is going to be there to counter a sized shot. A nice double. He's just there twice, just all over the ball. Gyro is. 2:30 left on the clock. Saints need to find something quick. Gyro again in the air is just everywhere here in game number 3. Tool pinches that one, just able to stop that shot from St. Clair from heading inside. Meanwhile, gonna get demoed out by Tool. Jazz is gonna give that one up to Arju. Off the wall. Saints into West Virginia's zone, but just have not found any rhythm here in game number 3. It feels like West Virginia has adapted quite well to St. Clair's offensive attack.
Yeah, again, you know, almost a very near, really good passing play from St. Clair, but it didn't happen. It didn't come into fruition, as now Matt, the demo on Arju, will be able to fuel Tool down the sideline. He's going to try to cut rotation, looking for a bump, and even the threat of bump was good enough from Tool to make sure that St. Clair couldn't get a man up to the shot.
The Saints are just, again, just feels like communication on defense not really there. A couple players out of position. Arju just a little bit too far back in the net there to make a real play, a real effort. They still have a chance, though. They just need to find something quick. They need to rally the troops, find that spark. Tool gonna bump this out. Jazzy's there to deny it. Matt and Arju go up. A battle of the fates in midair. Sai bounces this one off the wall, sets one up for Arju into West Virginia's zone. Consistently being tapped out by WVU's players here. Matt is going to get a cheeky shot onto that left side crossbar for St. Clair. Able to follow it up. 1 minute now. Matt keeping the pressure up. A nice
That's
tap.
such a laser of a redirect.
Oh my goodness. From Gyro, the redirect. Matt tees him up for the 4th. Unbelievable stuff right there. Oh my goodness. Off the post too. 4-0 for West Virginia, and St. Clair is going to have to reel back in for game number 4.
Yeah, and now St. Clair, you know, you're down by 4 and you have a minute left. I could call this one right now, but I have seen crazier things happen. But you know what? I think it's all but over in that case scenario. That one had to be through for St. Clair, and now the mental chalk plus all of the things that, the small things that add up wrong, really good fakes out as well, and all of a sudden, man, it really seems like ever since, Hayden, you made your comment about Tool, he has been stepping up to the plate. He's got to be listening in on caster comms because the man is simply creating everything for West Virginia, and give him credit, right? He's unlocked himself as the series has gone on, and now could be that X factor that West Virginia need to try to get back into this one.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's definitely cursing me. I feel it as he takes this ball into St. Clair's zone with 30 seconds left, but
Great bump again.
Really just it's really just playing out these last 25 seconds as a formality. Obviously, St. Clair is just gonna have to move on to game number 4. Close to the sweep, but not really that close. 5-0. Oh my goodness, a nice save from Sai right there to stop the bleeding just for a little bit. This one's gonna run out and heading to a game 4. Not gonna lie, Patrick, I said SCC and 4 on my notes. I got it here. I got the little 4
You had him in
down.
4?
I got him written down. So you know what? You got to reset mentally right there, but you still have the opportunity. You still have the fallback of game number 5, but you do not want to get to that point. That would be such a bad feeling going into that 5th game, but game number 4 on the docket up next.
Listen, you might have the fantasy carball pick'em of the night right there, ladies and gentlemen, as can't go wrong when you're trusting Hayden Phaser King to make you a Rocket League prediction, is now
I was
St.
right on the
Clair.
Baylor game too.
St. Clair, they're looking to take this one in 4. They are, as you know, West Virginia, they finally build a little bit of momentum. Now, this is the number one thing that is important to me. We've seen West Virginia's response. It's time for a counterpunch.
Yep.
St. Clair, do you find yourself in game number 4, or is this the start of a potential reverse sweep from West Virginia? We know that they're a team that when they get red hot, like they were in game 3, they can definitely pull it off and hang with the best of them. So this is going to be very interesting, as St. Clair, the first 2 games, looked a lot more offensively sound and a lot less hesitant on defense. Game 3, and the floodgates really just did open up, as now Matt consistently gets a shot after kickoff, this time a double attempt, and another goal, and what do you know it, right after kickoff, 8 seconds left to go, and St. Clair's kickoff woes continue to haunt them.
It's kickoff woes, and not only that, it's Tool kickoff woes. I just cannot catch a break here on the desk. The only thing that's going for me is the potential of Saints in 4. Tool finds one there, 8 seconds in. St. Clair, you gotta find something. They've been outscored 7-0 here in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Change. You have to find something. Sai needs to make anything happen. Cannot. Gets bumped out by Tool. All over the place. West Virginia pressing the attack.
You would think that St. Clair are going to be the ones to really push the tempo up the pace. We've seen that they've been able to do that so many times in the past, but these 50s from Gyro were just so toxic and potent to St. Clair's defense. As now he's going to be the next man on ball. Gets this one outclassed as the defender on St. Clair able to make it back, and now Arju, good catch, has a flip reset as well. Takes this one coast to coast, but cannot place it top bins as Gyro denies him the opportunity. West Virginia counterattack. Matt with a good catch, but he has no boost to commit to the double, as this one going to stay 1-0 for now.
Really good effort from RG right there. Gyro's just all over the pitch. Jazzy's going to bounce this one on top of the back board above the net. Tool going to redirect over to Matt. Is going to find him. He's going to go off the back wall. Jazzy is here for the last second save. Is going to whiff just a little bit of an awkward situation. Gyro is going to stand in front of that ball. Sai has to get this far boost. Arju has to tee it up for him. Off the ground it goes. Over a couple West Virginia defenders. Jazzy tries to get a shot on net. Gonna get blocked out by Matt. The Saints, their offensive efforts here in game number 4 have been very lackluster. And now we are crossing the 7-minute mark between games 3 and 4, where the Saints have not scored a goal. Almost unheard of watching St. Clair play.
Ooh, and a flip reset off the backboard. Can the double go through? No. Close, but no cigar for Matt. Just couldn't get that one on target. Now on a counterattack, Zod trying to find a 50 off the wave dash. Should try to lead up for Jazzy, but someone there, and a Cookser pinch downfield will set up a pass, but no result as both teams end-to-end offense. This one called off as now Jazzy can try to take a pressure, and Arju gets over his head. So now Zai going to be the one to have to pick this up. Reset, able to use it, trying to find another dunk attempt, but Tool beats him to the punch and makes a good save on a play.
Sai has been, I think, the best player so far for St. Clair in this series. He's been super talented in this series, just willing St. Clair into game 1 and 2. 3 goals for him, but it just feels like a scrum of players. It's just all over the ball here. 2 minutes left in game number 4. Arju going to bring this one up. Jazzy tries to block that West Virginia defender, can't find it. Sai going to keep this one in the corner, brought out now, teed up for a Saints player, but just unable to find it. Sai going to try and redirect that one closer to the net, off by just a little bit. And now St. Clair, after that demo, they have to reel, they have to find the defensive prowess to keep the score 1-0 as West Virginia presses the attack.
Yeah, now St. Clair going to see if they can try to break West Virginia, but you only have 1:20 left and you just gave up a close opportunity. This pass goes infield. This needs to be a shot, but Matt, real good recovery as he's able to make the save up there, as now Arju trying to find a centering pass, but Zai, it's past him, so he needs to try to make sure that he rotates back in orderly fashion. This one over Gyro, needs to make another follow-up save, a shot, but Zai is there, and you were talking about the man who's having quite the series for himself, continues to produce for St. Clair.
Arju had that last second goal right there, but Sai, I think, has been the real hero. Arju needs to take this one out of their own zone, but West Virginia is just everywhere on the pitch. Jazzy off the backboard, trying to find something, anything. Zero boost is going to fall. Arju left to his lonesome here in the corner, tries to get it out. Sai is going to have to scale up this wall. Alongside Gyro, the ball comes flying down in front of the net. Jazzy has an opportunity here with Arju to make something happen offensively. Zero boost for Arju, though, just can't muster up anything with 15 seconds left on the clock. We are encroaching the 10-minute mark between these two games, where St. Clair has not even got close to a goal. Meanwhile, West Virginia tries to find their second. 5 seconds left now. Tool just trying to play this one out, and St. Clair need to be perfect from here on out. Off the side of the wall, can't find it. This has to be overtime or nothing. Arju cannot make it happen. The ball lands right in front of St. Clair's net. 1-0 for West Virginia. And Patrick, we are not seeing Saints in 4. We're now closer to you, West Virginia, in 5. The momentum shift is very obvious for both of these sides. Saints look a little distraught right now, and if you're West Virginia, you have to be feeling confident after 2 games where you have just denied the Saints anything on the offensive side.
Yeah, I mean, double clean sheet. Quite the response from West Virginia. And again, give them all credit. They have been firing on all cylinders, and defensively, they have just been looking so strong. St. Clair, long faces. And you know what's really concerning is the fact that none of them are even saying anything.
Yeah.
I don't know necessarily if maybe their coach is talking to them or whatnot. It seems like Jazzy might be listening into a little bit of conversation, but regardless, no one saying anything for St. Clair. Jazzy just even being the one to open his mouth to get a few words in, but the other two silent. And I think it just shows, right, that right now the attitude, it needs to change. There needs to be a switch up. Arju looks like he just wants to go home. I mean, you can do that. You can. We'll take you. But West Virginia, they are very fine to send you back to your dorms, as they look to do just that in game number 5. Serious switch-ups need to happen for St. Clair, and I'm calling them out. Things need to change. But for West Virginia, it's been looking real good, and I can do nothing but praise them as they have started this eventual reverse sweep if it goes the distance.
They have looked really solid since that second game ended. Defensively, perfect. Offensively, perfect. You couldn't ask for anything more from West Virginia. St. Clair, they need to find something to rally behind. Anything. One goal will set the tone here. Give them hope. Show them that they can do this. They can conquer West Virginia in this best-of-5 set like they were unable to do in CRL. Matt tries to take this one in front of the net, and Tool is going to be there to follow it up. 1-0 for West Virginia. Once again, 40 seconds on, or ticked down in game number 5. They are going to be the ones to set the pace.
Well, after I've casted a whole lot of Rocket League, I will say my predictions have been getting pretty solid, but I did not see it happening in this fashion, Hayden, as St. Clair, they were once looking so dominant in this matchup. Literally, we even said it looked like the CRL series just flipped. But now West Virginia, they've picked up the slack, and St. Clair have definitely started to create some of their own. Is now passing play downfield, needs to be cut in, and Zai not able to get the look. West Virginia doing a good job to cut that one out, as now Clair comes through for Gyro.
Saints are just out of position once again. There it is.
It's sloppy.
It's sloppy. Arju is not there, not ready. I mean, no boost. There's not a ton you can do in that scenario, but the communication has to be a bit more open as West Virginia takes a 2-0 lead. The Saints have to be feeling at a loss for words. After going up 2-0 in this series, the threat of a reverse sweep is not only a reality.
What a bump.
Oh my, not only a possibility, but it could be a reality as West Virginia just easily takes it up 3-0.
I think mentally they're already done.
I mean,
I'm going to be honest here. I just do not see St. Clair taking this series any longer, giving up 3 goals in quick succession. And even the second one, really, I think was the mental breaker for me. And it's off of Zai, who has a lot of boost in the tank, tries to clear it. And again, we talked about this earlier. They're hitting balls off the side of their wall into the midfield. No one's back. It's a free shot. Zai has a lot of boost in the tank. He needs to clear that one more downfield to his other teammate. I believe Jazzy was already making his way down the left sideline, right? So, again, you got to find more downfield presence in St. Clair on defense. They just haven't had that. They need an opportunity to open up. And finally, Arju off a pass from Zai will be able to break the ice for St. Clair. Hopefully, this is momentum for them.
you got to think, right? That's a goal that they have, that they really desperately needed. I mean, they would have enjoyed it maybe a minute ago, but
Yeah.
that is something that St. Clair needed, some kind of spark to reignite the flame here in game number 5. Either way, Patrick, we are in for a great final 3 minutes. West Virginia can complete the reverse sweep where St. Clair can prevent disaster being down 3-0 in this game number 5. The ball is going to get cleared out into St. Clair's zone. Arju gonna grab the boost into the corner. Taps it a little bit, gets it over one player's head. Matt's gonna get the demo onto Sai. Gyro is there to follow through. Jazzy, meanwhile, gets bumped out of the way. Sai, the hero, once again, right above the net. Able to clear that one out, but West Virginia defenders everywhere in the corner as Sai is going to be left up to the task to save this one on top of the crossbar. Is going to find it, but West Virginia just keeps pressing over and over again to keep this ball not only in St. Clair's zone, but right in front of the net.
Right, I mean, it's in dangerous positions. That's the biggest thing, and sometimes as boost starts to get low, that's where you sort of get some players getting awkward. Double commits are bound to happen at some point, right? I mean, if you just keep offensive pressure up, take those boost steals like Matt just did in that corner, that's 10 seconds where St. Clair will not be able to have that pad, mind you, and that's a lot of time when you're dealing with offense in Rocket League. Hasn't still spawned in a little bit of a passing play, and St. Clair lucky that it just barely missed out on Tool.
They have an opportunity here to make it, make it a one-score game, but Gyro again everywhere in front of the net, in front of St. Clair's net. Sai is going to get an awkward position. This net is left open and nobody is here, but Gyro just overextends that one in front of St. Clair's zone, in front of their net, pardon me. As Sai misses that one, but is going to get the follow through, and Jazzy sneaks one in just near the top of the crossbar. The Saints are going to make this one interesting. They will not go quietly into the night.
Ooh, off the ground pinch too. I mean, that is an absolute rocket by Jazzy, and it keeps St. Clair in within one. And look, listen, they look down and out early, but now the dreaded St. Clair kickoff. We'll see if they can try to keep this one away from their net. A 50 comes downfield, and the clear finally gets sent back out. So for now, it's looking good, but again, still a minute left, and wow, that is horrible. St. Clair, they finally get the clear they need. And I get it, you're down by 1, there's a minute left, you gotta start thinking about taking risks and sending, but that is way too obvious. And at this level of play, any West Virginia defender sees that there is literally no one within a mile of that net. I mean, all it takes is one beat, as it did right there. It's a simple goal. So West Virginia, safety net of 2, and now St. Clair, they really need a goal off of this pressure they've gotten off of kickoff, or this one's gonna be over early. A redirect goes wide again, and West Virginia should be able to capitalize. Tool on his way there. They have put the silencer, the nail in the coffin, potentially, is down by 3 with 45 seconds against a West Virginia team in this form.
No way.
I do not see it happening.
No way.
I think that was the final blow for St. Clair, as West Virginia, 45 seconds from them and a reverse sweep win in NACE.
You have to be proud if you're West Virginia. I mean, you're so down and out. Saints looked like they were firing on all cylinders as we reach 30 seconds now. A last-second miracle is needed, but Gyro is not even going to consider it. Sai just can't find anything right there, but it is a nice bump. Jazzy is going to try and tee that one up, but unable to find it. Gyro is going to find the save. 15 seconds left now. This one is being played out of a formality at this point.
Yeah.
Jazzy just no boost left in the corner. It is all West Virginia here in game number 5, and it has been since game number 2, Patrick. Just a brutal way for St. Clair to go out here in week number 8 in Rocket League and NACE.
Hey, but you know what? We cannot really talk about the things that St. Clair did bad more than we can talk about the things that that West Virginia did well. And I think that, again, for West Virginia, right, they just had a dominating presence, like you said, since game 2. They really kind of strapped in, realized for St. Clair what their weaknesses were from last series. I'm telling you right now, for the first 2 games, St. Clair, it looked like they had their number, but then West Virginia, it's almost like they did a little bit of VOD review between games 2 and 3, and we're like, wait a second, hold on, I think I remember who we're playing. Let's look back to week 2, round 1 of series. Okay, yeah, this is what works. All right, okay, let's do that. And they did pretty much the exact same formula, right? And it just worked out for them. So well done for West Virginia on realizing where St. Clair have been having their woes, exploiting that for the better, and shout out Tool. I mean, was just having such a quiet series. I'm not going to put that on you.
What have I done?
No, I'm not going to put that on you, because at the end of the day, it's not like he's actually listening to us. But after the first 2 games, bro
Locked
just
in.
heated up to a new level, and dare I say, could potentially be my MVP for the series overall.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gyro was everywhere for West Virginia there. He was everywhere, had some great redirect goals. Felt like he teed up a lot of those goals for Tool and for Matt in that series. But, I mean, it could go either way. They all looked great after that second game. But, I mean, if you're St. Clair, you kind of have to take that one on the chin and move on. Your second loss in NACE. It's one of those ones that you want to forget about, right? You got to put the 24-hour rule into effect. You can think about it for a day, but after that, it's about who's next on the docket.
Yeah, I mean, I think, again, after a game like that, it's simple. Like, look, you'll do your notes in VOD review, listen to what your coach says, but at the end of the day, season isn't over. And at the end of the day, you still have a strong record. But we have an interview right now with Arju, live from the Nexus, just right after he's finished this series out. Arju Ario, thank you for joining us here on the desk. I know this one didn't necessarily go your way, but looking forwards to future matchups, obviously. What were some things you guys think you could have improved on looking back at in-game?
I think we just need to play with overall more confidence. I think kind of the start of the season stunted our confidence a bit, but I mean, I'm confident we can get it back and just like go back to how we were playing last semester.
Yeah, I mean, you guys showed real fight there in those first 2 games. Looked like, maybe a bit of miscommunication really in those last 3 in that 5-game set. Kind of walk us through what the attitude and the vibe was after that second game and going into that third.
I mean, I think the vibes are kind of always the same. Like at this level, you never actually won the series before you actually won it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, we're just always like focused on just winning like whatever game we're playing. If it's game 2, game 3, game 4, I think we kind of let our guard down a bit, and they started playing better, obviously, in the first 2 games. I can say that. So I think that's just kind of what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. I was looking back at obviously the CRL matchup that you guys had with West Virginia, but credit to you guys because the first 2 games, you guys definitely figured them out and had it turned around, right? Mm-hmm. I know that earlier in this year, I feel like starting off a little bit slow sometimes is kind of what this team's been going through. Now, obviously, I'm just an outsider looking in, so I don't have all the information, but you guys seem to have at least changed for the better in terms of starting off early, firing out of the gate, right? Looking forward, is this going to be something that obviously you guys think is just going to happen from here on out? Or is this kind of is this a one-off? And do you guys think that honestly playing down to your opponent's level is something you guys need to work on?
I mean, it's definitely our thing to start slow. Like you're right about that, and we've talked about it, and like obviously, it's kind of a hard thing to do because it's not like a gameplay thing. I think it's more of like getting warmed up, getting into the series. So I think it's kind of hard to do, but we're trying to figure that out, and hopefully we can keep this up. Not the reverse sweep part, but just winning the first 2 games, yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I appreciate you taking the time, Arju, to talk with us even after that defeat. Thank you once again for
Thank you guys for having me.
Us.
And again, you know what? I will say, class act there from Arju because in losses, as a pro player, this stuff's going to happen. Remember, he's an RLCS guy, right, on Team Evo. And again, you need to be able to answer when times are tough.
Yep.
And I got to say, I got to give him credit there because, yeah, listen, there's some hard-hitting questions, and I'm not going to keep it easy on them, right? I need to ask about what things I think they can improve upon, where I thought their weaknesses were. And I'll give it to Ario. He did a great job of just simply giving it as it is, not dancing around it. So shout-outs to you there, Arju, as looking forward to definitely getting to call more of your games if you're still listening. But for us here at the desk, that's going to do it for tonight. It's all about West Virginia. They get to celebrate, and rightfully so, as they honestly just turned another gear in Game 3, and they just kept that same momentum going forward. But that's going to be all for me and Hayden Phaser King here on the desk. But before we go, we want to thank first our prod team. So everybody in the back, that's going to be MJ, Carl, and I believe Adrian as well as Nicholas, who showed up too. So thank you guys for coming through. Thank you, Hayden, for joining me on the desk. And before we go, we also got to thank our sponsors who keep the lights on in this place. So I would like to thank Tim Hortons, Subway, Onezo, Pre-Fire, the SRC, and the SCC Alumni Association. And Hayden, what do we say? Thank you, sponsors. That's exactly right. That's what we say.
What do you got over there on the desk right there, Patrick?
Yo, what is this? Huh,
Come on.
This is really interesting. One more message before
One more
we go.
message
What-
before we go, guys.
Yeah.
We have an event here at St. Clair College taking place on October 31st, a student-run event named Land of the Dead. I'm a part of the team. Patrick's going to be there. If you guys are in the area, in the local area, come on out to the Nexus. We have some competitive titles, Valorant, Overwatch, and Clash Royale, as well as some casual activities. Dead by Daylight, COD Zombies, a little bit of Five Nights at Freddy's, and a costume contest come out on Halloween, October 31st. You will enjoy yourself, I promise you. But that's it for us, Patrick.
Yes, it is.
That is it. Appreciate you holding up the sign and covering up that great face of yours here on the desk. But that is all for us here at the Saints Gaming Nexus. We will see you guys very soon back here on the desk.